If you take the A259 to Shoreham and then follow the signs to Shoreham Beach and keep on going as far as you can, you will eventually reach Shoreham Fort. Built in 1857 and situated at the mouth of the River Ada, Shoreham Fort was one of many such fortifications built around the British coastline on the orders of Lord Palmerston. They were built to keep out any invading French, following concerns about the strength of their navy and the threat that this posed. In the event, these forts never fired a single shot in anger and later became known as Palmerston's Follies. Originally, the fort was the garrison of the 1st Sussex Volunteer Artillery. In the early 20th century, it served as one of the first open-air film studios, and during the Second World War, the fort became part of Emergency Coastal Battery with searchlights and 2 6-inch guns. After the war, the barrack block was demolished and the fort fell into disuse. In 2010, a conservation group called the Friends of Shoreham Fort was established by Gary Baines. Gary and his enthusiastic band of volunteers are dedicated to restoring the fort to its former glory. As part of this initiative, a military history weekend is held each year when military enthusiasts are invited to participate in the festivities and to put on demonstrations of their activities for the public. In June 2014, South Downs filmmakers were invited to film the event, and what follows are some of the highlights from that wonderful weekend.
Basically, we're Trafalgar drummers. We dress in the Royal Marine uniforms of 1802 to 1815, Royal Marine drummers' uniforms. We play fife and drum music, and we also do bugle calls and trumpet calls that would have been authentic calls throughout the days.
So I'm playing all the old military tunes on the fife. We found old versions of the tunes in the old potter's books and old sources on the internet and everywhere. So we just like to play authentic versions of what we feel is authentic to fit with the period costume, period uniform we're in. So, and I hope we're doing a good job of it. So.
Teams, you are to assemble, mount and start the kit cars in the quickest possible time, starting from a countdown of 3, 2, 1, go! So the two teams split down into 2 teams of 4. What the rear 4 are doing, they put on the wheels onto the rear axle. Now the yellow team are getting their engine in. What they're going to concentrate on now is putting on the rest of the bodywork. The engine itself weighs as much as 3 grown adults. 3 grown adults. Now the cadets can look at the finishing touches to their vehicle, making sure the windscreen is attached. And once everyone is out from underneath the car, they can all pile in. And once they shout last man and that everything is done up correctly,
I'm Lance Corporal Beard. I've been in the Sussex ACF for almost 2 years. I go to a detachment at Eastern Avenue in Shoreham, so quite local, and take part in events like today. We've got them going on all over the place, and it gives you so many different opportunities.
This is the Sussex Army Cadet Force kit car, and this is the engine for it. It's a Ford Escort engine, weighs about the same size as 4 fully grown men. It takes 4 cadets to lift it up. They all lift it up, bring it in, put it on into the chassis. The quickest time for the all kit cars to be assembled is 1 minute 34. At the moment the record this year is 1 minute 44.
We're the Queen's Royal West Surrey Regiment Reenactment Society, today portraying the 2nd Volunteer Battalion of that regiment. The group started 11 years ago. We actually started as a youth group at Henley Fort in Guildford by the local council, and after that I took the management of the group on and have been running it ever since. But we tried to recreate the Victorian soldier as accurately as possible. We chose the local town of Guildford and their battalion as our regiment of choice, because that's where the group was founded and where we're now based.
And we march at 116 paces to the minute, a lot slower than the modern army. And you'll notice that the dressings and the facings are totally different. And the Guard use a drill manual issued in 1824 from Horse Guards.
Well, the group is known as the Fort Cumberland Guard and was started in 1964. Our founder member was a chappie called Mr. Mike Powell. They were interested in preserving Fort Cumberland initially, but in 1964 Fort Cumberland was made an ancient monument, and therefore there was no danger that it would be demolished. So the idea was broached about having a group of chaps dressed in the uniform of a regiment that had used Fort Cumberland. And being local, and we chose the Royal Marines, light infantry of the 1830-1840 period. The uniform that I'm wearing today is 1860 undress, which we now adopt so that we can use the forts around Portsmouth.
Charge!
We're going to go to the shoulder arms, okay? Do not drop your rifle, I will put you on a charge, okay? So the first thing you've got to do is throw your rifle up slowly. So watch me first. Can you do that? That's it. Then you bring your rifle across your chest and put it in your other hand.
Yours in there as well?
Yeah. That's it. Trigger guards are now backwards. So you've got yours around the wrong way. That's it. Thank you. I'm now going to get you back to the order. So you bring your arm up to the top of your rifle and then bring it back down to your foot. Now we go back to the shoulder. So you twist your gun round, put it back on your shoulder, and then bring your foot forward as you bring your hand front. Well done. You're really clever. I suppose we better pay you, really. You've done a day's work as a soldier. What we're going to do... Oh, here comes Sharon. A lovely lady from the Victorian era. She's going to pay the lovely children. Thank you. You each now have a coin with Queen Victoria's head. You've done a fantastic job as being soldiers at Shoreham Fort. Quick march! Well done guys, you've made brilliant soldiers. Thank you ever so much. Off the arena for me. Thank you. Well done. Thank you.
Good afternoon, I'm Squadron Leader Wilson Home and this is Nurse Helmfirth. We are part of the staff here on Ward 3 of the Royal Victoria Hospital here at East Grinstead. As you'll know, this is the specialist burns ward for the Royal Air Force during the current war. Our boss, Sir Archibald McIndoe, is one of the world's most eminent plastic surgeons, and he does some great work here for the Royal Air Force.
Well, my job involves looking after the day-to-day needs of the patients, also escorting them to their saline baths. which they use a lot, several hours of the day, because Mr. McIndoe noticed that pilots who ditched in the sea healed a lot quicker than pilots who ditched on land. So therefore he realised that saline was a very effective tool for healing.
We are, ladies and gentlemen, only going to fire one round in each scenario. The charge of the gunpowder and sawdust is mixed in that linen bag, it's placed into the barrel, and then Mr. Adams puts the rammer behind it, he gives it a couple of taps and puts it all the way down to the bottom of the barrel. Now you're going to charge the pierce. Now, pierce the charge. You're going to break into the bag of linen and expose the gunpowder. The charge has been pierced, I heard that. Now the number 2 on the gun will then, with the flask, top that up, all the way up the vent to the top of the barrel. Gun primed and gun is ready. Now, when the next order is given, it's like the port fire. The 2 men will step away from the gun and put their hand over their ears. That is your signal, ladies and gentlemen, especially with the young ones, and if anybody's got any animals, to do exactly the same, okay? So when they move across and place their hands across their ears, you please do the same. Lighting the port fire means that you now go to the battle lantern with your fuse, light, and just keep swinging the fuse so that it stays alight. The alert is given so that you know something is going to happen. It's all now down to Mr. Dickinson. And to carry on. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, it's as simple as that.
Good afternoon, I'm Lieutenant Hugo Armitage, and this is my great uncle who served in the Tank Corps in the First World War. He served in the trenches as an officer. Before then he was commissioned in 1915. He was in the Queen Victoria Rifles first, and then he joined after 3 years in the trenches, he joined the Tank Corps.